everyone, welcome to our channel Technologia. So yes, I have again come with another video, with another problem, with another solution. So stay tuned guys. So now we should start with the problem of LeetCode, which number is 511. You can go and search on the LeetCode and you will find that it is gameplay analysis 1. It is basically a database question, and we will solve it using MySQL. Okay, so this I have first of all selected the easy problems, so it would be easier for you to understand, and it would also be compatible for the beginners to start with the video. Okay, and this question is even easy, but it has been asked in many companies, so you have to practice it. So for this question, the SQL schema is given and the table has been given whose name is activity. As you can see it here, its name is activity, and it is having 4 columns here. The column names has been given and it has been mapped with the related data type. So as you can see that for player ID, int has been given, device ID, int has been given here. So here the one thing that should be focused is that player ID and device ID is the primary keys. The primary keys are those which have the unique values. That means it can't be repeated. If the player ID is 1 anywhere, then in the whole tables row 1 cannot be repeated. It's if 1 is there, then it is mapped to the following rows. It would be similar to that only. Okay, so player ID event date is the primary key, as you can see here. So it is the combination of columns with unique values of this particular table named as activity. And also event date and games played are also present. So event date is having the data type, where basically it would be in the structure of like year, then hyphen month hyphen date. So in this way it would be present, and games played is also in the form of int. So let's go through the question. So this table shows the activity of players of some games. Okay, so this is the table which basically shows the activity of different players of some games that they are playing. Okay, so each row is a record of a player who logged in and played a number of games, possibly 0 before logging out on some day using some device. So each row that is given in the record of a player who has basically logged in for playing the games. So one player can play a number of games, like one player can play 4 games, 5 games, like this. Different number of games they can play, and whenever they play, the event date, on which date they have played, that would be recorded, and on which device they are playing, that is also recorded in the form of ID. Okay, so what we have to do here is write a solution to find the first login date for each player. So there would be different players, and different player can play on different devices on different event date, and they can even play many games, different mini games. Okay, so we have to return the result table in any order. The result table that we have to return can be present in any order. The order doesn't matter here, so we would not be more focusing on the order. The result format is in the following example. So one example has been given here where the input of activity table is given, as it has already shown in SQL schema that there are 4 columns. So basically you can see those 4 columns are here named as player ID, device ID, event date, games played. So as I have told you earlier that different player IDs can be here and different player ID can play on different device ID and on different event date, like that the game can be played today, tomorrow, like this. So the date is just been recorded, and on the particular date with a particular device ID the player has played how many number of games. So as you can see on 2016 1st of March, the player ID having 1 has played on device ID 2 and he has played mainly 5 number of games. And here you can see that the player ID 1 with device ID 2, the same device ID he has used again, means if 2 is mapped to mobile, then player ID has again played on mobile itself, and the event date that has been here is like 2nd of May 2016. So after basically 2 months, 1 day he has played again 6 number of games. Then second player, another player comes and he plays on 3 device ID, maybe 3 can be laptop, so he has played on 3 device ID and the date on which he has played is 25 June 2017, and the number of games he has played is 1. Likewise, similarly for player ID 3, he has played on device ID 1 and 4 respectively on the dates as 2nd of March 2016 and 3rd of July 2018. And like here on this particular date he has just done login, as he has not played any games, but on the different date like after 2 years and some months and some days he has played 5 different games. Okay, so what we have to do here in the output table, we have to take the player ID and the event date, we have to name it as first login, and the player ID would be for each player, like if 1 is present 2 times, 2 is present 1 times, 3 is present 2 times, so it should be for each player, like 1 and 2 and 3, whatever players are present here they should be present, but they should not get repeated. Okay, and the first login, so among this event date we would map it with the player ID, that player ID 1 has played on this day and this day. So among these 2 dates, which is the minimum date, so the minimum date would be basically the first login date, that on this particular date he has done the first login. And in the case of 2, you can see as there is only 1 date present here, so this would only be his first login date. And here in the case of 3, as you can see, the minimum event date is 2016, the year is 2 years before 2018, so 2016 would be considered here. So you can see that 2016 302 has been taken. So talking about this question, so yes, this question has been asked before in many real interviews for topmost companies, and like as you can see that what is the acceptance rate for this particular question is 76.1%. So like among 100% of peoples who have tried, 76.1% has got their codes accepted. So now I would solve this question for you so that you can know it, you can understand the question very well and also understand the solution, and would be capable of solving it by yourself. Okay, so now let's go through this. So we will write the code in MySQL. Okay, so first of all we will see that this is the activity table from which we have to write the select query. Okay, so first of all we will write select, and we will see that in output what are the names given here. Okay, so select player ID. As you can see here that in output player ID is there, and in the activity table also player ID is present. So we will name it as it is. So player, I will do the caps lock off. Okay, so player ID, select player ID, comma. Now we will go through the next column, which is first login. So as we can see here, first login is not present, but you can give focus on this, that this event date, the minimum event date of a particular player ID has been taken here. So we can go through this table. So we can just tell that minimum of event date that is present here in the activity table can be named as what? First login. Okay, can be named as first login. I'm not doing copying and pasting here. I can do first login copy paste, but I am thinking to type so that you can go through it. As first login. Okay, so it should be selected as first login, named as first login in the output table, and it should be selected, the select query should be selected from which table? From this activity table that is given in the input. So we will write it as activity. Okay, and how we have to group it? The player ID should be grouped in this way. So we will write that group by player ID. Okay, semicolon. Now we will go and hit the run button. Just wait for a while. Yes, so as you can see that it has been accepted, and also the run time it has taken is 73 millisecond, which is quite lesser. Okay, so we can see that this is the expected output, and our output is matching to it, as player ID is also grouped here, and also the first login is also taking the minimum of the event date, and they both are mapped perfectly. So as we can see that this example input has been giving, this input has been passed as it is matching the expected output. Our code's output is matching the expected output. So to check all the test cases that are present in this question, we can just go and click on submit. So it would mainly check all the test cases that are present for this particular question. So as you can see, bingo, so accepted, you can see it here, and like 12 out of 12 test cases have been passed, and you can see here that the runtime it has taken for solving this question and running these all 12 test cases and getting passed is taking around 461 millisecond, and it has beat around 64.40% of programmers who have coded this code earlier. Okay, so yes, So stay tuned, guys. We would basically again solve another problem using different approaches, and stay motivated.